broke out and lockdown just started, almost on a daily basis, I was seeing RBI governor coming on television in form of an advertisement, promoting and advertising for digital wallet, card, usage of cards, etc., etc. So digital transformation, does it only mean this digital wallet, usage of card, or it's much more broad-based, and we need to look at those aspects as well? Abhishek.
Sure. So, I think there is a perception in people's mind that the Western countries are far ahead of India in terms of digitization. But when it comes to digital banking and how money moves in the digital channel, I think the developing economies have picked up quite a lot, and they are doing some very, very innovative thing. In fact, if you look at the African countries, right, they don't have strong banking system in many parts, and they actually use M-Pesa, which is a mobile-based payment service to do most of the transactions. People who have not even heard or used bank ever in their life, they manage their entire money on their mobile apps. Right. So I think developing economies will be very resilient in adapting to this. They may not adapt the same way the Western economies have adapted. So I was just having a nice chat with Mr. Ghosh before our session, and he said due to Amphan, the people who are on the coastal belt, they are very used to it, right? So they know how to adapt to it. They know that a bad storm will come and they have to recover from it. So they have taken the precautionary steps, and they also know how to go and take the government aid after that, right? And this is exactly the situation of Indian consumers, right? And the people in the city, right? For them, it was a big, big change. And this is exactly how the Western countries react when new innovation happens on digital innovation, especially on the payment side right now. So if you see, they were ahead of us long time back, where they had the credit cards, and they have continuously innovated on that front. So you can see most of their digital payments actually happen through credit card channels, right? Or then they had went online. But in India, if you see, most of these digital payments are getting on mobile, right? And gradually it will grow more and more, and people will have and the mobile applications are becoming so simple to use that people can simply touch and go in their payments, right? People can just make $10, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees payment, which is not even heard of in the Western countries, right? So I think India, the lack of availability of knowledge of the formal banking channel may be a challenge here. Like, a lot of people may not know what a formal banking channel is, how to use it, how I can access it. That may be a small challenge for the adoption, but again, that is being complemented by the payments bank and a lot of interesting innovation that is happening in the banking channel, like companies like Paytm, UPI, what they have done, and I'm sure banks are also stepping up the game, right? They are bringing in micro payments in different ways. All these organizations are also adopting the vernacular interfaces now. If you see, the interfaces are becoming simpler and simpler, and it is adhering to what the Indians will be more comfortable using, right? And it is also connecting them to all the tools that the Indian people need. So if they need mobile recharge, that if you will see in most of these interfaces, the mobile recharge is right there. So it is enabling them to do transaction that is required in the market, right? So they are doing all the transaction that is required by them on a day-to-day basis. And I think this trend will continue. It will be driven by the transaction rather than the interface or the mode of payment. So I see an increase in mobile payments. As I said, a mobile POS. I think a mobile POS will be almost everywhere. People using their mobile phone itself will be able to make transactions from their customers, microcredit, micro deposit, and eventually a proper credit rating system for the bottom of the pyramid. I mean, that is my long-term visualization of what the society might look like with the kind of innovation that's happening in Indian banking channels.